Now, some of our students have asked about the effect of meditation on long-term memory. Now, when we look at memory within the ladder of our consciousness, we look at an area of the mind that is at the doorway of the subconscious mind. So we have the present time in memory, and then we have that track that is part of our sense of life. It's a narrative. It's a story that starts from the time in which you became aware of yourself, that you are a conscious being acting in your own life. So we refer to this as the first conscious memory. Now, it doesn't mean that a person is not conscious before that, because most people have little islands of memory that go back beyond that time. But there's not a sense of the full continuity of you being present in your life. Now, what happens is that area between your first conscious memory and conception is referred to what we call as the personal unconscious. Well, that is sometimes the repository of certain karmic elements. So as you transform yourself and move from nodal point to nodal point, you also are transforming certain karmas. So those karmas act as an obscuring influence. It forms what we call the unconscious mind. So as you purify those impressions, things that were buried before that first conscious memory, you begin to become aware of them. And sometimes people will be able to actually move their first conscious memory forward, so they remember things that they had previously forgotten. So if your first memory occurred at 8 years old and you burn up some of the karmic material that's veiling areas which are now part of what we call the personal unconscious, what happens is that then you actually make that aspect of your unconscious conscious. It's now part of your conscious awareness. So those pieces of your memory that were missing suddenly come into full awareness. So they're now a part of you. Now, can that process be done to remember back to birth through your embryonic life? Well, potentially it can be, although I would say that's probably pretty rare. But some people do experience the movement of their first conscious memory to an earlier time in their life. And that's just the removal of some of those elements that are in the personal unconscious. Because a lot of that stuff you probably wouldn't want to remember anyway. You know, the misery of wearing diapers and, feeling overwhelmed by noises and sounds and being terrified when your mother or father walks out of the room. So a lot of very painful memories are often stored within that realm. So it is probably just as well that we don't remember some of that stuff. But it is indeed possible that you can begin to move that veil of unconsciousness back a little bit so you're aware of more of your life track or your personal story.